Alright, Pretender here, back with another Honkai Star guide, and today I'm here with the full build guide for the upcoming 5-star 2.5 character Feixiao. Feixiao is yet another follow-up character which has a main source of damage coming from her ultimate, with especially a unique way of ulting. So this video is going to be taking you over her kit and Eidolons alongside some explanations, then we'll be taking you over Lightcone options you can use on her, and then followed by that we'll be taking you over relics and planar ornaments along with the stat recommendations on them. And yep, that's all I gotta say before I get into the video. Drop a like, drop a sub, hit the bell icon for more videos like this, and let's get straight into it. So Feixiao is a wind character following the path of Hunt. Her basic attack deals wind damage equal to 100% of Feixiao's attack to a single target enemy. Her skill deals wind damage equal to 200% of Feixiao's attack to a target enemy, then immediately launches one instance of the talent's follow-up attack against the target. Her ultimate deals wind damage to a single target enemy up to 700% of Feixiao's attack. During this time, can ignore weakness type to reduce the target's weakness. When the target is not weakness broken, Feixiao's weakness break efficiency increases by 100%. During the attack, Feixiao first launches Bolt Thunder Blitz or War Axe skyward on the target for a total of 6 times. At the end, deals wind damage equal to 160% of Feixiao's attack to the target. So if you do notice, she does have 2 different hits you can do. And how that works is Bolt Thunder Blitz is the one you choose to do if the target is weakness broken, because when the target is weakness broken, Bolt Thunder Blitz has a increase to the damage multiplier by 30%. But if they are not weakness broken, you will be using War Axe Skyward, because when the target isn't weakness broken, the damage multiplier increases by 30%. So pay attention to if they are weakness broken or not. If they aren't, then you will use War Axe Skyward, and if they are, you use Bolt Thunder Blitz. Her talent can activate ultimate when Flying Aureus reaches 6 points, accumulating up to 12 points. Feixiao gains 1 point of Flying Aureus for every 2 attacks by ally targets. Feixiao's ultimate attacks do not count towards this number. After Feixiao's teammates attack an enemy target, Feixiao immediately launches a follow-up attack against the primary target, dealing wind damage equal to 110% of Feixiao's attack. If there is no primary target available to attack, Feixiao attacks a random single enemy instead. This effect can only trigger once per turn, and the trigger count resets at the start of Feixiao's turn. When using this attack, increases damage dealt by this unit by 60%, lasting for 2 turns. So what this does mean, as you do see, Flying Aureus reaches 6 points, you could use the ultimate. She does not have traditional energy usage, and as it says, you need teammates to attack. Every time they attack twice, you gain a stack. Once you do reach 6 stacks, you can unleash the ultimate. You can save it up to 12 times, but the ultimate will always only hit 6 times. For a technique, after using the technique, enters the onrush state, lasting for 20 seconds. While in onrush, pulls in enemies within a certain range and increases this unit's movement speed by 50%. After entering battle, gains 1 point of Flying Aureus. While in onrush, actively attacking will start battle with all pulled enemies. After entering battle, deals wind damage equal to 200% of Feixiao's attack to all enemies at the start of each wave. This damage is guaranteed to crit. If more than one enemy is pulled in, increases the multiplier of the damage by 100% for each additional enemy pulled in, up to a maximum of 1000%. For her bonus traces, her A2, when the battle starts, gain 3 points of Flying Aureus. At the start of the turn, if no follow-up attack is launched via a talent in the previous turn, then this counts as 1 toward the number of attacks required to gain Flying Aureus. Her A4, when using ultimate to deal damage to an enemy target, it is considered as a follow-up attack. Follow-up attacks crit damage increases by 36%. So yes, her ultimate is considered a follow-up attack. And her A6, when using skill, increases attack by 48% for 3 turns. For her Eidolons, her E1, after launching Bolt Thunder Blitz or War Axe Skyward, additionally increases the ultimate damage dealt by Feixiao by an amount equal to 10% of the original damage, stacking up to 5 times, and lasting until the end of the ultimate action. Her E2, in the talent's effect, for every 1 instance of follow-up attack launched by allied targets, Feixiao gains 1 point of Flying Aureus, and can be triggered up to 6 times per turn. Her E4, the follow-up attack from the talent has its toughness reduction increased by 100%, and when it launches, increases this unit's speed by 8%, lasting for 2 turns. And her E6, increases the all-type res pen of the ultimate damage dealt by Feixiao by 20%. Talent's follow-up attack damage is considered as ultimate damage at the same time, and its damage multiplier is increased by 140%. Now talking about the best Lightcones for Feixiao, far and away her best one is going to be her signature Lightcone, giving you 15% crit rate and giving you up to a 54% defense ignore when you use your ultimate. How you get that is by using a follow-up attack. Every time you do use one, you get a stack of Lumen Flux. you are able to get up to 2 stacks of Lumen Flux, and each stack enables ultimate damage to ignore 27% of defense, and when the wearer's turn ends, it removes 1 stack. So crit rate is obviously going to be extremely good with Feixiao, especially from how many times she attacks, so you're going to want to crit most of those hits, so getting a lot of crit rate is viable, and the Lightcone helps with that. But as we do know, defense ignore in this game is extremely potent, and the fact that this Lightcone alone gives you 54% defense ignore on the ultimate is just absolutely absurd. So this Lightcone is far and away her best option. Now, if we do actually take a look at the other Hunt Lightcone options we do have some quite good options. Doctor Ratios is extremely good on her as well, as it does give you 20% crit damage, and every debuff the target enemy has. Crit damage additionally dealt to that target stacks up to 3 times by increasing by 8%, so you can deal up to 24% more crit damage to that enemy target. And when you do use your ultimate to attack an enemy, you get a Disputation effect, which increases damage dealt by 36%, so more damage dealt, very good, and enables their follow-up attacks to ignore 24% of the target's defense for 2 turns. And as we do know, Feixiao's ultimate is considered a follow-up attack, so you are actually able to benefit from this. So it's not as much as the signature Lightcone gives you, but it gives you 24% defense ignore, which is really good. On top of that, a lot of damage dealt, and crit damage dealt, and just flat crit damage given. So this Lightcone provides you a bunch of benefits, being a very good second option. Another great one that actually does benefit her and also benefits her team is Topaz's signature Lightcone. You can get a 18% increase to your crit rate, and damage dealt by follow-up attacks increased by 30%. So more crit rate, again, very, very good. And now you're also getting a follow-up damage increase, which again will benefit your ultimate as well. And when you do use a follow-up attack, you inflict that target with the Tame State, giving you 2 stacks, and anytime you do hit someone under the Tame State, the crit damage dealt to them is increased by 12%. And since there's 2 stacks, you can get up to 24% increase crit damage dealt to them. So this will still benefit Feixiao, because again, you're getting the crit rate, you're getting the follow-up damage increase, and this also still benefits her. So when you hit that enemy with the both Tame stacks or just one, you will do increased damage. But on top of that, your teammates will also be doing increased damage to them. So that's why this is another fantastic Lightcone option you can use. And since Feixiao is a very, very fast option, you can also use Zele's signature Lightcone, giving you 18% crit rate, and when you are in the battle, for every 10 speed that exceeds 100, increases damage dealt by the basic attack and skill by 6%, at the same time increases the crit damage of the ultimate by 12%, stacking up to 6 times. So once again, this is another Lightcone that gives you some crit rate, which a good amount at that. Again, 18%, just like Topaz, is very, very nice. And again, as I mentioned, she is fast, so you're going to be able to get a lot of this, especially if you're in a team that might benefit her speed, depending on the teammates you're running. But for the most part, you still will want her to be as fast as possible, so you will get a bunch of this, and now your ultimate, which is your main source of damage, will gain 12% more crit damage, stacking up to 6 times. So you can get quite the big crit damage bonus, and on top of that, your basic attack, if you do need to use it, if you run out of skill points, and especially your skill, which you will be spamming, will also be doing increased damage. So this is another fantastic option. The free-to-play Herda Shop Lightcone is another great option you can use. Mine is S1, but if you do have it S5, it's going to be even greater increase. You get an 8% crit rate increase at S1, and it also increases your crit rate with enemies with less than 50% HP by an extra 8%, and when you do defeat an enemy, you get a 20% attack increase. And once again, at S5, this is even better because the base crit rate becomes 16%. You gain an additional 16% when you have the enemies lower than 50% HP, and the attack is increased up to 40%. Especially with this being a free-to-play Lightcone, this is another great option you can use. As for some 4-star options, Swordplay is perfectly fine to use as well. You don't gain any crit stats, unfortunately, but every time you do hit the same target, you get a damage increase by 16% at S5, stacks up to 5 times, and will be dispelled when you change targets, since her ultimate is a thing that you can hit 6 times. So you get the full bonus, and by the time you do the big attack at the end, you will get the full benefit from this Lightcone. Again, it doesn't provide you crit like the other Lightcones mentioned, but it is still a very, very good option you can use, which will benefit overall damage, especially if you're not switching targets outside of using the ultimate. So big benefits you gain, it will be really good, so it's another great option. Another 4-star you can use is the free-to-play Final Victor Lightcone, which gives you a 12% increase to attack, and when you do land a crit hit on enemies, you gain a stack of Good Fortune, stacking up to 4 times, and every Good Fortune stack increases the wearer's crit damage by 12%, removed at the end of the wearer's turn. Since once again, your ultimate is hitting a bunch of times, you're gonna preferably have enough crit rate to where it can crit consistently, so you are able to stack it even outside of battle. If you get some follow-up attacks in using the ultimate, you're gonna benefit a lot, increasing the damage you do hit by hit. So if you don't have the other options mentioned, this is another great option you can use if, again, you don't have any other option. Now talking about the relic options for Feixiao. Her best in slot relic set is going to be the Wind Soaring set. The 2-piece increasing attack by 12%, and the 4-piece giving you a 6% increase to crit rate, and after the wearer uses a follow-up attack, increases damage dealt by the ultimate by 36% for 1 turn. As she does indeed have a follow-up attack and her main source of damage coming from the ultimate, the follow-up attack will further increase her ultimate damage, and for the most part you will be using that follow-up attack before you do ult, gaining the increase of ultimate damage, and so she is able to use this set fully, making it her best in slot. Another set you can use is 4-piece of the Duke set. The 2-piece increasing damage dealt by follow-up attacks by 20%, and the 4-piece, when the wearer uses a follow-up attack, increases the wearer's attack by 6% for every time the follow-up attack deals damage, can be stacked up to 8 times and lasts for 3 turns, and is removed the next time the wearer uses a follow-up attack. You can also just use the 2-piece and combine it with one of the attack percent ones, so Wind Soaring set, one of the dot sets, Musketeers, since the attack percent is very beneficial on her, and she will also be getting the follow-up damage increase from the Duke 2-piece. So both options are good. You can also use 2-piece of one of the ones already mentioned, so the attack percent Relics or Duke 2-piece, and combine it with 2-piece of the Eagle set, because the 2-piece increases wind damage by 10%, and as she is a wind character, she will be dealing wind damage, so you are able to benefit off that. But overall, her far and best one is going to be the Wind Soaring set, so I definitely recommend getting a usable set as soon as possible. For her planet ornaments, her best one is going to be the Durin set, because when an ally does use a follow-up attack, the wearer gains 1 stack of merit, stack up to 5 times. Do note this does include her, so she is able to stack herself up as well. Each stack of merit increases the damage dealt by follow-up attacks by 5%, and when there is 5 stacks, the wearer's crit damage increases by 25%. So you are gaining a 25% increase to follow-up damage, and as her follow-up damage, she has one, and when you do use her ultimate, it is considered a follow-up attack, so both sides will be benefiting off that. And the 25% increase in crit damage is going to benefit all her damage sources as well. It does take a bit to ramp up, but she herself is able to stack it up very fast, and especially with the fact that you're going to be taking her on a follow-up team for the most part, other characters will help her stack it up as well. So stacking up Durin is very easy and the most recommended, and when you do have it fully stacked, it is her best in slot. But if you do not actually want to use the Durin set, you could just use Inner Sasoro, giving you 8% crit rate, and when you do have 50% or higher crit rate, damage dealt by the wearer's ultimate and follow-up attack increases by 15%. As she is able to make use of both the ultimate damage and the follow-up attack damage increase, this is also a double way beneficial to her, and there is no ramp up time, so unlike Durin, you just have the bonuses right away. So if you do not want to have the Durin set, this one can work. Durin does pull ahead when you do have the 5 stacks, but Inner Sasoro is still really good and is a great option on her. Another option you can use is the Izumo set, giving you a 12% increase to your attack, and when anyone on the team follows the same path as the wearer gains a 12% increase to crit rate. For the most part, Feixiao teams will either have Moze or Topaz, which both characters are Hunt, and Feixiao herself is Hunt, so if you do have one of those on the team, or even March Hunt form, that will also be beneficial. She will be gaining the 12% crit rate increase just like that, so if you are running one of those teammates, which for the most part you will, you can use the Izumo set on her. Another good set is the Glamout set, giving you 12% increased attack, and when you have 135 speed or higher, the wearer gains a 12% damage increase, and if you have 160 speed or higher, the wearer deals 18% more damage. So whether you have 135 speed to do 12% more damage, or if you have 160 to do 18% more damage, both of them are really good. For the most part, you will have higher than 135. 160 speed is less likely, but even if you aren't able to do it, it is still a fine option because you are getting more damage in general, and you're also getting 12% attack, so it's good. But if you are somehow able to hit 160, it becomes that much better. And then the last option is everyone's favorite Space Sealing Station, which pretty much just is a 24% increase to attack because you need 120 speed to have the extra 12%, but for the most part you'll always have over 120 speed with Feixiao. But this is only one you use if you just have pieces laying around while you farm one of the other better ones, so if you do have pieces laying around, you can use it. For the main stats on the Relic, for the body you want to have crit rate or crit damage corresponding to which one you need more, though for the most part you probably will want crit rate in this case because you want to have as much crit rate as possible since Feixiao attacks a lot and is going to want to crit the most. For the boots, you mainly want to have speed, but since she has such high speed, if you have a bunch of speed rolls on your relics, you can actually get away with using attack percent boots. For the orb, you want to have wind damage bonus, and for the link rope, you want to have attack percent. For the substats, it's mainly your regular DPS stuff that you want. Crit rate, more crit is going to help, more crit damage. More crit damage you have, the more damage you do when you crit. More speed is also very much welcome because you can gain more turns. And then attack percent is also beneficial so you can do more damage overall. So once again, your regular crit rate, crit damage, speed is going to be helpful, and then attack is going to be helpful. Break effect can also be pretty good as well. And yep, that is the guide, taking you over her kit, Eidolons, Lightcone options, Relic options, and stat recommendations for the upcoming character Feixiao. Let me know how you'll be building her, and yep, hope you found the video helpful. Peace out.